Right, Friday lunchtime class, and I was uke today. And being uke, i.e. the demonstration partner for the coach, has good and bad points. So, the good points about being uke is that you get to feel the technique done properly, which is not often the case when you're working with a partner who also isn't particularly familiar with the technique. So getting the coach to show you the technique and do it properly, you can feel the adjustments, you can feel the power, you can feel the weight distribution. It's really a great way to learn. Now, the downsides of being uke. For me, I'm quite a visual learner, so I like to see the techniques. If I can see the technique, I can normally copy it. I can do it myself. But when you're uke, you can't see it. You're just feeling it. So I find it fairly difficult to learn the technique by being uke, by just listening to the instructions and feeling what's going on. I kind of do need that visual element to help me remember. The other thing is that if you're uke, you don't really get much of a break. So, if you're just a student in the class, every time we pause to do a demonstration, you can grab a drink and take a breather, basically. But if you're uke, then you're practicing with a partner, and then immediately you're back being shown the technique by the coach, and then you're back with a partner. So there's no real break during the class. It's a little bit tiring, and it's quite easy to get dehydrated and so on. So on the whole, I think being uke is probably a positive thing. It's probably very good for your development, but it is kind of tiring. So I'm happy to be uke. I'm happy not to be uke, is what that boils down to. So what I wanted to talk about today is maybe what is the kind of superpower of the upper belt, sort of purple and above. So I'm still a blue belt, and I can't do this yet, and that's probably why I'm still a blue belt. And this is basically chaining techniques. And chaining techniques is basically, rather than doing one technique and then if it doesn't work, trying a different technique, it's kind of like doing single punches, I guess. Whereas when you chain techniques, you have a sequence in mind. So you do one, and because it doesn't work, you do the second immediately, and then that leads to the third. And so it's more like a combination of punches. So you're like, 1, 2, 3. And of course, that's much more likely to hit the opponent, rather than just single punches, which is easy to see coming and easy to counter. I really had that kind of brought home to me today. I was sparring with a white belt, big guy, same size as me, not a bad white belt. And so, I kept getting him to open guard or close guard, and I just couldn't quite get a technique or a sweep from there. I'd get halfway through one, it wouldn't work, I'd switch to something else, but it was a distinct, separate technique, and so it was fairly easy for my partner to react and prevent the sweep, prevent the technique, and so on. Whereas if I was chaining techniques, the counter, the thing that he was doing to defend would leave him open to the second technique and make it far more likely to succeed. And so for me to become a purple belt, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to develop this skill of chaining techniques. And I'm not entirely sure how to do that. I think it probably involves drilling. It probably involves thinking. So a lot of the time in these situations, I'm thinking about what to do next, whereas it should be more of a reaction. Particularly, I kind of find myself going to like X-guard and stuff, and I'm not entirely sure what to do from there. So this is something that I need to do some research about and become more proactive in my learning. So I need to go out, figure out what the next missing step is, figure out what should be there, learn how to do whatever it is, and then practice it by myself or with a partner. And so that's my next big thing in my jiu-jitsu journey, as it were. So I need to figure out how to do chaining techniques. And I think that is what's going to help me get to the next level if I manage to get to the next level. So how about you? Have you figured out the chaining thing yet? If you're an upper belt, please leave a comment and tell me how you did it. I'd love to know how you develop this skill. And if you're a lower belt and you haven't got there yet, let me know how things are going for you. All right. Thanks a lot. See you in the next video.